Hey guys, Teddy here again. Ah, this is gonna be a different one for today. I don't normally come on here and of late give you some inspirational words, talk about God, and I'm blessed to have another day, and I'm grateful. I'm grateful for it. Today is gonna be a bit of a different one. We're gonna spread the word of God a little bit too. Don't get me wrong. Everything you see around you is God's hand. Good, bad, or indifferent, it's God's hand. But share some words of wisdom and a warning. A warning. I've been saying for years that Canada has fallen. For years. Sitting here this morning, well, today, it's not morning, afternoon time. Here, touching up my knives. You've seen this one, Barker for Cup. I mentioned this before. Great knife, bullshit sheath. You know it very well. Here's another one, Joker knives. I think this is a Joker bushcraft. Yeah, bushcrafter, the Joker bushcrafter. Great knife. Amazing knife. Pardon me, I'm trying to do this with one hand and not stab myself. And my machete, my CRKT half a chance. No, this is a half a chance or a chance in hell. One of those. Don't get me on the name. Great machete with some modifications, as you can see. Heavy modifications. Because out here, the handle as it sits is bullshit. But I digress. Anywho, sitting here and I've been keeping track of the news. What's going on in Canada? What's going on in Trinidad and Tobago? Because, like I said before, and I'll say it again, I'm Trinity to the bone. Down my heart, my soul, my DNA, I'm Trinidadian to the bone. And if I had to give up any citizenship, that's an easy choice. I will happily give up my Canadian citizenship with a smile on my face. But I will never forsake the land of my birth. I'm Trinidadian to the bone. I'm looking at what's going on. And it reminded me of the downfall of Rome. But first, let me share a story with you. There are many versions of this story. I believe it's the snake and the crocodile, scorpion and the frog. Many versions of the same story. But let's use the scorpion and the frog. Now, I want to give credit to someone I watched. I apologize if I butcher his channel. I think his name's called, I think it's Aquarius Weave or Wave or something. If I butcher it, my brother, I apologize sincerely. But he told that story, a story I've told many times in my life. Many times in my life, as you can see. I'm not a spring chicken. In Trinidad, you'll say as a hard fowl. But there's a scorpion at a riverbank. Wants to cross the riverbank and sees a frog. Goes to the frog and says, "Help me get across." The frog looks at him and says, "No, you're a scorpion. Put you on my back, you're going to sting me." The scorpion begs and pleads. And the frog finally says, why am I going to let you over? He said, please, I really need the help. Help me get over. He said, one condition. He said, what's that? Promise me you won't sting me. So the scorpion looks him in the face and said, I promise you I won't sting you. So the frog says, okay, climb on. So he climbs on the frog's back. Halfway through, the frog feels a pinch in his back, and he then stops. What the heck was that? He realized the scorpion just stung him. And he looks at the scorpion and he says, why would you do that? Now we're both gonna drown. And he says, I'm a scorpion. What else would you expect? Now let me explain the downfall of Rome. See, Roman civilization got to the same point that North America is right now, mainly Canada. Skewed the lines between masculine and feminine and gender ideology, worshipping of strange gods, worshipping of nature. They worship nature and they worship the trees. All pagans. Men were women, women were men. The whole thing changed. Exactly as you're seeing right now in Canada. Now they conquered some people called the Gauls, who later became the Germanic tribes. Which, by the way, is where, hold on, waving to my daughter. I'm a good father. Ooh. She got us charamuscas. If you don't know what charamuscas is and you're from Trinidad, we call it sucker bag. Good stuff. Anywho, the English language actually came from the Germanic tribes, from Old Norse, not from Latin. Even the origin, I believe, I have to research this, the origin of the Latin actually came from the Germanic tribes. Not too sure. Gonna do some more research on that. But anywho, they conquered the Gauls. And the people, well, they're mostly peaceful people. They're mostly peaceful. Let's let them in. Let's let them in our civilization. They're mostly peaceful. They don't want to do anything with us. They're not going to harm us. That's in the past. Let it go. So they let them into their civilization. They allowed them into their cities. Allowed them to vote. Allowed them to be members of the Senate. Part of the military. Pretty soon, they had more than 30% of the military were Gauls. And once that happened, they attacked the city from within, destroyed Rome, destroyed the Roman civilization, never to return. Same thing with the Trojan War. Trojan horse brought it right into their city walls. They jumped out of this wooden horse, took the city, slaughtered the men, women, and children, and took it by force, destroyed the city, never to be seen again. Forgive me, got itch in my nose. Canadian society, you've allowed the worst of the worst into your country. One of the reasons why I left. Over 200 churches in a couple of years burnt down to the ground. Not one word from your politicians. Not one word. All you hear about is colonizers, oppressors, slave traders. Let me tell you something about the slave trade industry. Let me tell you some facts about it. Less than 1.5% of all white people in North America were slave owners. Less than 1.5%. The largest slave owners and slave traders in the world, in North America, were black. Okay. Let's talk about your peaceful Muslims for a second. In the Quran, it said the Prophet Muhammad himself had over 100 black slaves. Arabs were enslaving and selling black people for hundreds of years before the first white man ever stepped foot in Africa. Today, in parts of the Congo and other African places, you will find Africans selling other Africans into slavery. There are over 30 million people in India who are considered slaves. There are still slave markets in Middle Eastern countries to this day. Let's talk about the Barbary Wars, which are one of the things that caused the Crusades. Let's talk about the Barbary Wars, where they would enslave, the Arabs would enslave white women and white men. They would take them and enslave them. Let's talk about the Irish. The Irish were among some of the first slaves brought to North America. It wasn't Africans, it was Irish. The term, I'm going to say it, the term nigger was actually an Old English term. An Old English term used to describe the Irish. It means a person of loose morals and no value. That's what it means. Was used to describe the Irish, later the Scots, eventually a derogatory term to describe black people. All recycled. Canada. They defaced Canadian monuments, chanting from the river to the sea. Nothing was done. Nothing was done. Ryerson University, the cornerstone of Canadian education system. They removed the name Ryerson because he was involved in slavery. Really, where did the Underground Railroad go to? It wasn't Europe. They came to Canada. At a time when slavery was prominent in the United States, Canada had black members of parliament. Canada had black business owners. Canada had powerful black people. But oppressors. Who ended slavery? White Christians. White Christians who died alongside of black slaves to end slavery. Not just there, but mostly worldwide. You've allowed the scorpion on your back. And you delude yourself, thinking nothing's going to happen. Okay. The government's not telling you how much people is coming into your country, or came into your country. I've said the numbers before. It's north of 5 million people poured into Canada, north of that. They're not telling you that in 3 months, over 90,000 people poured into Canada. Where did the majority of these people go to? They go to Ontario. Now they're pouring into Calgary and other Canadian cities. You have entire Canadian towns, small towns, taken over by people from India and the Middle East, and none of them share our values. None of them are willing to assimilate. Not one. While your government and your education system tell you and your children that you're privileged and you're oppressors and all of societal problems is based on you. You are at fault. No, you're the problem, yeah. Not the government sticking their hand in your pocket and robbing you blind. While inflation skyrockets, hyperinflation, they tell you, no, we have a strong economy. Our economy is the strongest it's ever been. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and I guess Trudeau made that $300 million, the right way. Came into office with a sizable bankroll, a couple million, 2 million or so, and left with over $300 million on a job that pays $200,000 to $300,000 a year. Make that math make sense. Mark Carney comes in. Brookfield stock prices are at $62 to $63 per stock. As of today, it's north of 90. But no. He's doing it the right way. Climate change, right? In 2018, you can go look it up. Go look up any, City TV, Global, any meteorological report when they talk about what's it gonna be, the sun today and the temperature. Look at the summertime. All green right across the board. Temperature 29 degrees. All green, normal. But as of recent, temperatures 22 degrees, all red, heat wave. Global warming is destroying Canada. Yeah, global warming. Sure, global warming. Forest fires, that's because of global warming. Yeah. Has nothing to do with the fact that for the past decade, the Canadian government has done nothing to maintain the forestry. Nothing. They banned all controlled burns. You're not allowed to remove deadfall. And you cannot use machinery to remove any of the deadfall or remove anything from the forest. It has to stay where it lies. Why? Because climate protesters sit back and say that, you're messing up. You're interfering. You're interfering with the climate. You're interfering with the microorganisms, and the bugs won't have anywhere to live. Yeah, protesters. Yeah, okay. You have terrorists, full-blown terrorists, staking claim to your land. In Canada, you have the Khalistanis who set up don't know what it is, set up a little territory claiming the Republic of Khalistan. The same people who were responsible for the 1980 or 1990 Air Canada bombing. Very same people. Same people were responsible for many terrorist activities in India. Oh, they're peaceful. They're the scorpion. I won't sting you. You have Muslims gathering downtown Toronto, blocking off the entire street for call to prayer. Peaceful. You have these same people protesting in front of churches on Sunday worship, doing a call to prayer right in the front of the church. Peaceful. Let me ask you a question. You do that to a mosque anywhere in Canada, see the response. There's your scorpion. France allowed, I don't know how many millions of these refugees into their country. Let me ask, if your first language is Spanish, Your mother tongue is Spanish. And you want to relocate. Wouldn't your first option be another Spanish-speaking country? Your first option? Well, let me go here. They speak Spanish. They speak Spanish. Maybe Spain, Chile, Ecuador, Nicaragua, Honduras, Panama, Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, and so on and so forth. It would make sense. Why is it that these people, Arabic-speaking Muslims, they don't go to other Arabic-speaking nations, but they all come to North America and Europe? Why? No one wants to move there, but they want to come there. And they don't want to come there to assimilate. No. They want to come there to force you to change for them. It's like inviting someone into your home, and you are a cigar smoker, and you smoke in your home, and this person comes into your house and tell you, do you mind not smoking? It bothers me. And you comply. Oh, I'm sorry, I'll go outside. And you do that to be nice. And then they bring their friends and they come over and you sit down to have your cigar. Oh, take that outside, it bothers me. And you be nice, you comply. All right, cool. And then they come in and now they think they rule your home. Your home. But you do nothing. You see on the news, all I hear about is Palestine, and this one and that one. Okay. Talk about the hundreds of thousands of Christians being slaughtered all over Africa. Say something about that. As far back as a couple days ago. Say something about that. What about all the Christians and Druze being slaughtered all throughout Syria? Who's doing it? Peaceful. You see, the Crusades were a result of this very same thing. This very same thing. They allowed Islam to work its way right in through Europe. They took over parts of Spain, all the way up to England, the Ottoman Empire. Finally, the British people had enough and they started fighting back. Had enough. And not only did they drive them out, but they destroyed the Ottoman Empire and took over the Holy Land. Now, I'm not saying Christians have done everything right. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I'm not saying the Jewish people have done everything right. Absolutely not. No way, shape, or form. Read the Bible. You'll see. And I'm not saying that every Muslim is violent. Not at all. Not at all. But what is a fact is that the Christians and the Jews who did wicked things have all been condemned by their people as wicked and evil. But all of these terrorist organizations in the Middle East are following the Quran to the letter and will not be condemned, because you can't condemn another Muslim. It's written in the Quran. You have Muslims protesting in France right now, saying they're coming from Macron and they're demanding a caliphate and they're going to take over Paris. There's a worldwide caliphate coming. Scorpion on the frog's back. You've all become weak and decadent. Just like the Romans with the Gauls. You can't see beyond your own nose. You care more about man's admiration, fame, popularity, money. You don't care enough to see what's going on next door. You don't love your neighbor. You don't love your people, and you sure as hell don't love your country. Well, what I have to say to you is, what you sow, so shall you reap. This is the bed you made for yourselves. Now you can call this hate speech. I don't care. It's fact. Don't believe me? I suggest research it yourself. Go see what happened to Lebanon. Go read what happened to Lebanon and see who started it. Go research all those so-called Muslim lands who were all Christian and Jewish, among others, the Druze, Zoroastrians. Go research what happened. Do the research. Don't look on TikTok. Don't listen to these Dawa guys. Go to the library and pick up a damn history book. Read for yourself and see what happened. Look at these countries in the 1950s and 60s. Go see what they were like. Because you see, they were all democratic countries. All of them. Women had rights. See what rights women have in Islam. Just read that. See what happens in the afterlife in Islam. Research. Do your research. Don't take my word for it. Don't take anyone's word for it. Do your own research. We have a saying back in Trinidad. It's not a Trinidadian saying. More than likely it's a British or colonial statement, but I digress, and here it goes. In blind man country, one-eyed man is king. You're all blind. You're all following blindly. And you're letting these morons teach your children. You rather them teach them than you get off your lazy ass and teach your children. And this is the result. You see, Hitler didn't go after the elderly. He didn't go after the middle-aged. No. He went after the youth, because if you corrupt the youth, not only do you corrupt that generation, but the generation after. Where did Hitler get his ideology? Research that one. Do your research. Because you see, the more you learn, the more you shall see. Because we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but principalities of evil and wickedness in high places. They're the people that are governing you. The ones who are ruling from behind the curtain. Who are telling your presidents, your prime ministers, your kings what to do. You see, the head of the World Bank had a saying, and he said it. He said, who controls the money controls the kingdom. Who controls your money? You're all slaves. You've all been slaves. You allowed yourself to be enslaved. And God didn't make you to be a slave. God sent his son to die for you so that you would no longer be a slave. But because of your greed, you allowed yourself to be put back into servitude. Canada, I love you. I love my Canadian brothers and sisters. All colors, all races. I don't care where you're from, man. We got snow and hockey in our veins. I hate hockey, by the way, but I can appreciate the skill. It's not easy. But you know what I mean. And you have allowed yourself to be destroyed for vanity. Vanity. One of the devil's favorite sins. Vanity. And pride. Pride is such a powerful sin that it caused Satan to be cast out of heaven, and a third of the angels with him. Pride caused God to destroy the earth the first time. The first time. And pride will be your downfall. See, the Bible states in John and in Hebrews, Bible says plainly, do not entertain non-believers. Do not welcome them in your home, nor wish them Godspeed, nor bless them, because they are corrupt. And what wickedness they do, you will be judged for as well. Very clear. And this is Hebrews and John. So this is the Torah and the gospel. God spoke plainly, but you've allowed them in your home. Time to stand up, Canada. You've elected the most evil people known to man to rule you. They come to you offering you gifts and every vile sin under the sun. But what would that cost you? What did it cost you? It cost you everything. Well, like I said, you made your bed, lie in it, or do something about it. Stand up. Hate has no place in Canadian society. No place. We have children running rampant with no punishment whatsoever. You have these terrorists marching down your streets, taking over your country, giving praise to a terrorist organization that slaughtered Jews, Christians, and Muslims, by the way. They took Muslims as hostage. So that you know. They showed a video of a man, skeleton, like he came out of a concentration camp, which touches home for me because my grandparents fled Poland because of the war. Fled Poland because of that. And you people see this and still sing their praise. Well, whatever they do, if you stand beside them, you will be judged accordingly, as the Bible says. Anyway, that's my 2 cents for the day.